program is Inside Cross River, and I'm very excited to be here with the former Auditor General of Cross River State, Mr. John Ode. And of course, we are talking about the bloated payroll, the Cross River State wage bill. Why is it there? The humongous increase, where is it coming from? And of course, the government of Cross River and the current government, the governor of Cross River State, had to cry out to say that they have to reconcile the payroll for him to be able to give people the leadership they deserve by bringing other people on board to be part of the process. All right, so let's get back to other allegations, because of course there were interviews. You were the whistleblower. You were the whistleblower because the whole of this saga started with you. So my question is, what motivated you to go to the media? Were you deliberately trying to pass everybody through a media trial? What was your motivation when you went to Hit FM?
As I left the service as Auditor General, I have had several requests. Come and talk to us, come and talk to us. Now, specifically, Iwara, you know it's not here, it's in Lagos.
Sure.
And I know most of these social media people here are feeding through the pockets of these corrupt people in office. He called me and said, please, you have left office since 9 months, and they are still talking about bloated payroll. Can you please come and tell us why the payroll is still bloated up till now?
Okay.
And so I honored that invitation. I honored that invitation. Now, those allegations and counter allegations, those counter allegations that came, reasonable people, it's just that if you are not intelligent, you will not put 1 and 2
together.
So if you ask somebody 20 minus 11 plus 3, he will not know, but an educated person will know. So an educated person who looks at these things objectively will know. He will ask, all this why have you not? I'm not in the civil service. Okay. I don't know whether the verification has been completed, whether it hasn't been completed, whether the procedures, what procedure they are taking. When I had that interview, that invitation, I went. If you put 1 and 2 together, the frivolous allegations leveled against me are mind-boggling that, in fact, if I have those type of allegations with humongous figures, I will rush to the governor and say, look at heavy money that we are losing. You know, that interview I granted, at least their response in the interview, if you want to mark me, give me marks in that interview, I should have 60 over 100 by their acceptance.
Why?
Now, I said in that interview that there was there was a loan that government collected, 3 billion naira, for through Ministry of urban housing. Now that 3 billion naira was in that account, and they now forwarded charges that were not there, have been issued to the governor. And the governor saw those charges. He said, no, these charges are too high. I cannot in-debt Cross River State to this amount. We will pay this money for long. He called Accountant General, refund that money. Accountant General did not.
What is the reason?
Because of his ineptitude and collaboration with the banks. He did not refund that money. In 2018, another loan that government did not apply for, unsolicited loan, entered that account. 2 billion. From Heritage Bank to, what do you call it, to Fidelity Bank.
Okay. 2
billion unsolicited loan. Enter that account.
But is that even possible? Can a loan be acquired without any form of application?
Is it possible to rob a bank? I'm asking you.
I don't know. You are the forensic auditor. You have to tell me, sir. Because I'm just wondering how.
Okay, I don't want to look at the possibility or the impossibility, because it will be too complex to explain to the public.
Okay.
But the important thing is that the Accountant General agreed.
Agreed, okay.
That there was that transaction, and that they accrued the 2 consultants that were brought together. One, like I said, realized 1.4 billion. The other one, 875 million. I was trying to reconcile that account. The Accountant General hastily went and closed down an account and recovered only 41.5 million out of 1.4 billion that is that one of the consultants got from his back audit.
Jesus. So what happened to the other money?
That's why I'm crying that Cross River State money has been shortchanged. Those are the things I would have briefed His Excellency if I was in office. So, I'm talking about the money that the bank deducted illegally from Cross River State government as bank charges. Where for 1.4 billion by one contractor, one consultant, and 875 million by another consultant. It was my position to reconcile those two accounts, those two submissions. The Accountant General hastily went and shut down, closed the account, strike a deal with the bank, and got only 41.5 million naira.
What reason did they give you for doing that?
When he went to Hit FM and accepted that he did that, did I not send the letter I queried him?
Yes.
I sent you the letter on your soft copy.
Yes, you did.
I queried him for that. I have given that man countless queries.
So what reason did they give for the specific one?
Those are things I was handling before I was hastily removed.
Okay, didn't give you a specific explanation.
He didn't give. Why didn't he give the explanation in Hit FM? So those are the things.
Okay.
I also brought an issue. Why I'm saying I scored 60%. I also brought an issue that Okwaju Bank tried to embezzle 50 million naira in Forestry Commission and Biodiversity. And he appeared before me in an exit conference with my directors. And in that meeting, that money was part of a percentage by their law for informants who brought the matter for them to be able to catch the illegal loggers and all that. Now, on that day he appeared before me, he read their law that this 50 million represents 50% of what, what do you call it? It represents a percentage of what we should give to the informant.
The whole 50 million?
The whole 50 million.
Was a percentage to one person?
It was a percentage to the informant, because if, for instance, you realize 500 million, and so the informant, you are supposed to give him a percentage. You give him the percentage of that.
So how much was realized that 50 billion would be a percentage?
Well, you can ask him that. Because the important issue here is that 50 million was cornered to another account and have been shared.
Okay.
So in the course of audit, I didn't go for that audit.
Okay.
My staffs, my directors went for that audit. So when they finished audit, they brought it, and I looked at it. You know, as a tradition, before we issue the report, you must come for an exit conference.
Yeah.
It was when they came and they raised all those issues. And I asked him, this money, he now explained that it's a percentage from the money they realized. The other one had been paid into government account. This other one is here. And the audit report shows that that money that they said is for informant, they have already shared it. So when I looked at that thing, I told him that I have given him 48 hours to refund that money. That if he doesn't refund that money within 48 hours, I will get him arrested and send him to EFCC. And of course, in the interview, in whatever manner I tried to polish it, he agreed that he refunded the money within...
So they got the 50 million?
He agreed that yes, ma'am.
They got it back?
He agreed that he refunded the money and he transferred it from account, from Impress account to government account, and that it was advisory. So he agreed. It wouldn't have been an issue if there was no fraudulent action behind it. Okay. Even as Akwaju Bank left service, you can ask him. His salary, his pension was put on hold on fraudulent accounts. As he left service, please ask him. Go to the President Auditor General. He left service as head of service. His account, his pension was withheld on account of impropriety. And he went to say, I just left as a head of service. You are keeping, I sit in this my house.
So what kind of impropriety?
Go and, I told you that is, go and ask him. Or go, I think you are doing all this, go to Auditor General.
Okay.
The present Auditor General and find out. Okay. He was there intimidating people. He was this and that and that. They said, no, this is audit. And this is what we found out. Why we withheld their salary is for you to come and do the right thing. So that is it. I got, if you see, because I raised issues on the payroll, why the payroll swelled. I raised issue on the 1.4 billion and on the 875 billion. I raised issue on the fake forgery of governor's signature and the fake employment. And I raised issue on the undeserving promotion and acting director positions. Those are all the things that increase the payroll.
All right, so we heard from Okoinaku who said that till this day you still earn up to 300 to 400 million a month through the padding of the payroll. What can you say about that?
I think he's trying to attract kidnappers to me. He said there is an elephant in my house that I use a jet. I have a clinic. I have whatever I was talking about.
I'm living like a lord.
I'm living like a lord.
Your house is beautiful.
My house should be beautiful. Why not? Somebody who has worked for 35. Do you know me? Do you know who I am? Do you know where I came from? Let me tell you, my grandfather was the John Morris Ode, was the district clerk of Abakaliki province. My father was the chairman of Cross River State Public Account Committee during the military. Okay. During that time, in 1988, my father called for the arrest of Spencer FM, over 1 million naira from that he got from a expanded program on immunization. My father issued a white paper, make sure he entered the white paper. Dr. Arikpo, who was chairman of DG of non-formal and formal education, who had some impropriety, and he ordered that he made sure that he entered the white paper that he should never hold any public office. So I am not just somebody who just came from rags. I'm somebody who has a name. Okay. So you cannot tell me, I started living in my own house. In short, I bought my first car in 1999. My first car in 1999. So you would have seen me as somebody who enjoyed a very large level of inheritance. I started living in my own house, the one I built, in 2007. Okay. The people who are fixing this street light are living in that house. I hear that people said you parked from, and in that house is the most beautiful house in that street.
So this beautiful one was built when? When you became Auditor General?
I built this, I started this house since. This place was real bush. Okay. I've always been going to bush to take places to build. Even my house in the village is inside the bush. People have now come. The house I parked from, as at that time, was inside the bush. You cannot drive in. You can't drive in. Okay. So I have worked for long, and let me tell you, I have passed through a lot. In 1985, when I finished secondary school, I was selling metal spare parts in number 6 Akasoro Lane, Idumota, Lagos. Okay. In this town, as at 1987, I owned a what do you call it? A pickup that I was driving. I inherited that pickup from my father, which I was using to drive passengers, carry people up and down. At the end, I sold that pickup after I used it for, I think I sold it around 98. I sold that pickup for 65,000 naira. Check the cost of 65. As at that time, I had a dollar account that I changed that money into dollar. You can check the difference. So as far back as that, people who know me, let me tell you, you can check my trajectory. You can check where I'm coming from. Okay. You can fact check all these things I'm telling you. Okay.
You say money has history, so we are hearing the history now.
You must see. Okay, let me tell you something. Yes. Let me tell you. When I declared my asset before I became Auditor General, when I declared my asset, Code of Conduct Bureau invited me to explain how I got these positions. Because before you are given an office, you would declare your asset in Code of Conduct. So. And I went and explained and showed evidence and showed everything before I came. I am somebody who runs around. I am somebody who does several businesses that after, on Saturday, I don't rest. On Sunday, I don't rest. I was at one point supplying drugs. Medicine, I'm not saying hard drugs. Going to Lagos to bring drugs and supply in pharmacies and chemists across the state.
Okay.
So I have never rested in my life since I started this my life.
So back to the accusation. They allegedly said you earn 400 million every month from the bloated payroll. How true is that? So
if payroll, like I explained to you, the payroll was that 2.2 billion, and I'm earning 400 million or 300 million. Does it make sense? My dear, I'm not earning any such money. I'm not earning such money. Okay. How will you earn money like that? Because if you are earning that money, I have told you my role, or the audit role, and you have seen the staffs who have the read only. Now, I have told you who does the payment, which means Accountant General pays me that money every month.
Indirectly.
Which means he pays me because he's the one that pays. And how is he paying that money? How to be? Because payroll is based on analysis. Beatrice, Akpala, reporter, this, that, and that. Grade level, this, that, and that. Gross salary, this amount. Deduction, this amount. Net salary, this amount. It is the net that they pay you. So will somebody go and pay you 400 million?
From the duplications, that was he explained. That from all these duplicated padding of names, that's where people nicodemously earn money from.
Now, let me also ask you. Is he in charge of the accounts? To have gotten that information? Because that type of allegation should come from the Accountant General.
Got it from consultants, so the payroll.
Which of the consultants?
I don't know. That's what he said.
It's a drowning horse. It's a drowning horse who is struggling to get out of that mud. So any waterproof you see will aim you. If paper you see will aim you. Anything he sees will aim you.
All right, so the fact that you did this interview led to his suspension. Was that a personal vendetta?
No. That wasn't what led to the suspension, please. You cannot conclude that led to the suspension.
But you did an interview on Saturday, by Monday was suspended.
It could be a mere coincidence.
Okay.
No. I don't want to be seen in that light.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Because if that was that led to his suspension, the Accountant General would have been called to book.
Okay.
He would have been called to book because he accepted that transaction. Have you heard of his arrest? He accepted the transaction of 1.4 billion and 870 million. So if that is what led to his
so in your opinion, what led to the suspension?
Am I in government? I sit here in my house, I go and know what they are doing in government.
You're a forensic auditor. All right, so thank you very much for being part of this process. It's been thought-provoking, and I'm super excited that the people of Cross River State are being given clarity to what is playing out in Cross River State and how we can take practical steps to get it right. All right, so one of the accusations, alleged accusation, was the fact that you were not qualified to be Auditor General. You were an accounting staff, not an audit staff. So magically you were made Auditor General. So what can you say about that?
It's an illiterate now talking about that. Because all their, let me even start the history. After the creation of Cross River State, Mr. Iborita was an accountant, director of account in Ministry of Finance, because Accountant General's office was under Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
After the creation of Cross River State, Iborita was appointed as director of account, Auditor General. After Iborita, my predecessor was engaged as director of account. Chris was engaged as director. I'm speaking on camera.
Of course.
Chris was engaged as director of account. I was in Accountant General office. Okay. He was engaged because he had worked, he left and went and wrote a professional exam, passed his exam, was working in the bank and all that. So during Donald Duke engaged him, brought him as director of account because the position was advertised. Okay. So he was employed as director of account in office of the Accountant General. When that was during the period of Teresa Henshaw.
Okay.
When the Auditor General Iborita retired, Chris was appointed Auditor General. Now, after Chris being appointed, after Chris retired as Auditor General in 2022, I was now appointed as I was a Director of Accounts. I was appointed Auditor General. Okay. So if you see from the creation of Cross River State, all the people that have been appointed as Auditor General were Directors of Accounts.
So when you attain that benchmark, you can be Auditor General.
When you attend that benchmark, see, a Director of Audit can be appointed Accountant General. Okay. A Director of Accounts can be appointed Auditor General. Okay. Now, because we possess the same qualification, I am a fellow of the Institute of National Accountant of Nigeria. Sure. I'm a fellow. Okay. I have all the prerequisites to become Accountant General, Auditor General of the Federation, or Accountant General of the Federation, or anywhere. It is this is the, after the creation of Cross River State, it is the first time that a staff who rose through, who was employed in audit, rose through the ranks, have been appointed as Auditor General. This is the very first time. And of course, you know, when Akwa Ibom people were here, they were dominating the service. Sure. And so when they left, there was no high-level person in audit. And so that's why
they were mopping up
people who have that background to come and lead. So this is the first time, and CSN is the first Auditor General who has been appointed after having risen from the ranks to this position. Otherwise, all three of us, I am the shortest serving. Chris, Chris Nyom served Donadieu, served Imoke, and served Ayade up to 2020. I came in April 2020. So I did only 3 years. Okay. All of them, they served for long until they got to 60 years.
Okay, so that's interesting. The program is Inside Cross River. All right, so we are still here with the former Auditor General of Cross River State, Mr. John Ode. The last question I want to ask you, because this question is one thing that has made people to begin to think otherwise and all of that. For instance, everybody saw you as a man of integrity, all right, based on your interview with Hit FM. But when other allegations came up, people started asking questions. For instance, you were SSA Payroll, which you have given clarity that you served under a committee. You were also, at some point, you became Auditor General. And when you were appointed as Chairman IRS, you know the professional criteria and all of that. Why did you not reject that appointment? Or why didn't you advise the governor otherwise? So who was auditing you when you were all these things together? That's the question that's been asked.
It's a question that I will answer for clarity.
Sure.
When Governor Yade announced my appointment as acting chairman, I got confused. For 2 days, I was not myself. Now, I called him severally, he didn't pick my call. When I called him, 2 days later, he called me. I had not gone there.
Sure.
He said, look, there are several things that are happening in that. You know, when they want to do something that will clear the system, they bring somebody who they think he has a large heart to do things without looking back. The governor said there are several people who are in IRS earning undeserving percentage from consultancy that they do on revenue. And that the revenue is low. He wants me to move the whole Auditor General office into IRS to unravel the mystery surrounding the low generation of revenue.
Okay.
He said, please, that's what he said. He said, please help me and do that. I am the governor. I'm asking you to go and do an overhaul audit of that place.
So you were on a rescue mission?
I was on a rescue mission.
Okay.
Now, my directors came to me and said, AG, it is not out of place for us to go and do an overhaul of the system. Mm-hmm. When we clean up the system, we can leave. How long was I acting chairman? 2 months and 2 weeks. Okay. I went in there. The first thing I did was to look at the Pay Direct Smart Golf Split platform, mm-hmm. where consultants were hanging and enjoying percentage. Mm-hmm. As at when I went there, the government was, the IRS was earning about 950 to 1.1 billion. I went there and removed all the, first of all, I disabled the platform. Okay. Anybody who wants to claim money that he has worked for, the 10%, the person can go apply and attach all what he has generated, pass it through IRS. IRS will send it to the governor. Governor will approve, AG will pay. Mm-hmm. When I did that, when I went there, I discovered that a little bit about 70 consultants were on the platform, earning money that they were not undeserving percentage.
Looting the state?
Yes! For work they have not done. So I disabled that platform. Immediately I did that, succeeded in disabling that platform. That month, IRS figure rose to 2.6 billion. You can go and verify. IRS is here. Got 2.6 billion. I went to the governor to say, "Oga, we have finished everything. Look at what came this month. Let me take my leave." He said, "No, just finish this month." I said, "Oga, please, sir." He said, "Just stabilize this month. I'm going to appoint somebody." Mm-hmm. I endured that month and clean up. Go and look at IRS things. Whether there is anywhere I approve any capital thing or enrichment. I heard him saying they were paying money into John's account. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised that this John is too strong that no, they have not invited him to say, those money that were paid into your account, bring it. No money. They were owed, the worker, you know, they have temporary staffs, mm-hmm. casual staff who go to the field and generate revenue. They were owing them for 7 months before I went there. Mm-hmm. Because of cutting all the excesses, we made sure that they were all paid. They were all paid their money all. I did not take a kobo. Even when they say the chairman is supposed to travel for this and this, the allowances and that is this amount, mm-hmm. I say, let's do a visual meeting. When they say, oh, chairman has to attend this and that, and you know their rates are high, yeah. I say, no, let's do a visual meeting. Mm-hmm. I did that throughout till I left. For those 2 months and 2 weeks that I stayed there, and I washed my hand. I was the one who went back to Governor Ayade. Please, you know Akpanke, mm-hmm. you know Akpanke, you can ask him. I was the one who went back to the governor and pleaded that he should bring back Akpanke. At least the governor asked me to bring Akpanke to him. I pleaded with the governor to bring back Akpanke. And so when the governor accepted, I brought Akpanke. The governor told Akpanke that this man is the man who pleaded for you to come back. You know, when people raise this allegation, they talk and talk and talk. They just feel, well, you have all these things, Prince Otu.
So how were your activities audited?
My activities for those 2 months?
Yes, and then of course other activities in the Auditor General's office. Were there any checks and balances? Were there supposed to be things like that?
Listen to me.
Yes.
When I did that thing, you know, audit is not an instant thing. Audit is something that comes after. Okay. The records are there. So the Auditor General must have audited. Okay. Go there and find out.
The perception we got is that you became very powerful. And I even asked the question, how did Mr. John Ode become so powerful? So were you being given the trust because you were getting it right? Or why did you make that incredible impact in Governor Ayade's government?
From birth, I have been a very sincere person.
Okay.
There is nobody on this earth that will say he's Mr. Perfect. But I try as much as possible to maintain a level of integrity. I try as much as possible to maintain a level of integrity. When I did that payroll filtering, and I saved the government of almost 400 million naira monthly that would have been going down the drain. The governor, it wasn't a hidden thing. The governor said I should be given money. And I told the governor that no, that at least I have food to eat. But there are people who are suffering, who do not have food to eat. Please, sir, you can give these people that food on the table. And the governor said, bring names for me to approve for you. And he told everybody that he has not seen this kind of person. You want to give him money, he said he doesn't want. He is thinking of other people. When I brought those names, my wife's name was part of it because my wife is a chartered accountant and she's a businesswoman. Okay. She wants to at least have a name of a political appointee. Her name was part. I sent you that governor's approval.
Press release and
exactly, with the press release. So my wife, you didn't ask me that one why my wife is not on. They say my wife is on payroll. So it was after I did that. I gave the governor that list. My wife's name on that list was the third name. You can see that I considered other people before her even. So she was announced as special assistant on, I don't know, domestic what or what. So she became a political appointee. She did her documentation as political appointee. She served the state until May, that they received, May 2023, that political appointees received their salaries last. That was when her name was deleted.
But I actually saw a pay slip as a civil servant.
From who?
I saw it.
You saw it from who?
The last interview I did.
Who? From who?
Okay, that was when I interviewed Mr. Okoinako, right?
Is Okoinako in charge of payroll?
Well, I saw a pay slip.
Now, you have seen a conflicting Okoinako. Let me tell you the activities of Okoinako.
Okay.
He's a gentleman, but he should never have been given such an exalted office. He had no training for it. Okoinako was in the first appointment he had was from Ogoja Urban Development Authority as executive secretary. The 3 auditors who audited him and indicted him of eating those sweepers' monies that he stole from there. The 3 auditors who indicted him, Okoinako, when he became chairman of Civil Service Commission, he refused to promote them. He said he will not promote them, that they indicted him. He refused. Is that how a public officer should behave? You bring your personal interest into things. It was when Audit Service Commission was sworn in that the Audit Service Commission promoted those 3 officers. In fact, when Audit Service Commission came and those briefs were forwarded to them from the Auditor General's office, the Audit Service Commission said, maybe these staff may have done something in service. They had to write to Civil Service Commission to find out whether the staff did anything incriminating, that they didn't promote them for such a long time that he was chairman. He couldn't write anything that they now promoted him. Okoinako is somebody who lacks integrity by his exhibition. From what I have just told you, those things, he showed you those letters. Those letters are prepared by him, signed by him. He has ample opportunity to say, let me print letters. Let me tell you, you see pay slips. I was head of inspectorate at some time before Mr. Akpeogon took over from me, and I worked under him when he came. We were the ones checking gratuities. People will print pay slips when they have overstayed in office. They will go and print pay slips to show that they retired when they were due. And so I like doing a diligent job. What I did was to download the payroll from inception to date. So when you bring a pay slip, what I do is that I query your computer number on my pay slip. Your real pay slip will come out. Your last pay slip will come out, and I will see. I will look at this one. It's saying that you retired, you were supposed to retire early. This one now said you retired that early. But this one is showing that you retired recently. So pay slips are printed. Let me tell you, the best way to check whether my wife, that's why I say, this matter, I am surprised that people, they have not constituted a committee to look into it, because what we are doing here, we are just talking to the public, and the public will just be listening. The best way to check is to go to the payroll. The payroll is stored in the cloud, in the CMA Consult platform. Once they bring the code and give you, you open. The last salary that was paid, you will print out my wife's pay slip as a political appointee. Print out the one that they are purporting that is a civil servant, and check the account. Check the account, whether that forged pay slip, whether money went in there. They can ask him, go and print all their statement. It's easy to verify. Let me tell you what I have not even told you. I discovered these are verifications. These are bank verification. You can see a government of Cross River State and Avo versus, you can see it there. These are all mandates. I have a full bag of it. I was working on these things. Barrister Ekona, who is now a judge, I discovered that between, when CMA Consult forwards payment to audit, and audit or pre-audits, by the time CMA forwards electronically to the accountant general for him to now pay, because he has access to impute names into payroll by his staff, and he has access to pay to individual salaries. By the time we are now downloaded the back end of the payment, which is from SmartGov, the back end, that's vouchers that, names that have been paid. Then I downloaded the ones that were audited by us. I cross-marked them. I saw that they were distorting the payroll when it goes to the accountant general to pay. I discovered that they were distorting that payroll. They will change somebody's, they have access to impute. They will change somebody's account number. After audit has finished, they will change somebody's account number, because the platform recognizes only bank and account number. They will change that account number and change the bank. So money, when you press, it goes to that bank that you have changed to that account number. So when we discovered that anomalies, we printed all those anomalies. I invited Barrister Ekona to help me and get an order from the court mandating the bank to print the mandate of the person's account and the statements of account from inception. And I saw that even CMA Consult, one of the staff, was paying money into his wife's account and was paying money into his account. And I saw that those in Accountant General's office, the Accountant General, they were distorting the figure. I saw so many, all these ones, if you look at it, there are so many Obudu names here. They were distorting names and putting other names. So that at the end of it, people will start trooping. I have not been paid salaries for this month. Why have you not been paid? Oh, your name was on payroll. When you try to find out from a accountant, they say, oh, the team did not return, this and that. So they will do all and want to get another clearance for them to be included. So there was this fraud that was going on there. When I got all this mandate, Barrister Ekona, then he was a barrister, now he's a judge. Barrister Ekona helped me to get that order that we served all the banks on all those names that we got for them to give us detail. I have but it's there full. for them to give us. I was working on all those things.
Wow.
So there are various distortions at various levels. If I want to tell you the issues surrounding payroll and all the things, it will take us one day. So this interview will be in phases. And if I want to tell you what transpired, how things happened, they will kill people on the street. Let me tell you, the program manager of Slugger, Joseph Mbufe. Yeah. Joseph Mbufe from Obudu. Immediately that program finished, Joseph Mbufe go to his place. You see SUVs, all the vehicles of that program, the Slugger program, and all the furnitures, the soundproof generators, the air conditioners, chairs, everything, all the properties, including a new bus, everything. Joseph Mbufe took everything and shared with head of service.
What is the name of the program?
Slugger.
Slugger, okay.
Slugger. Okay. It is an EU program that government has a counterpart funding.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he shared all those things, and as Auditor General, I queried him because he shared it and retired. Incidentally, he was my neighbor. We shared the same fence.
Okay.
To see how I am, I don't care who is there. I queried him. When I queried him, he was exiting. So as he was processing his, what do you call it, his terminal benefit, I stopped his pension. I stopped the processing of his terminal benefit. I wrote to all the people to stop, that this man is with government properties. SUVs, vehicles, generator and all that, the computers and all the rest. He took them away and shared with the head of service, Akwaji Bank. And I confronted Akwaji. Akwaji tried to explain to me, he only gave him this and that. As I have gone out, he has gone back. Joseph Ugbe, the chairman, the director of fire service, he went all around the state. He sold firefighting equipment across the state. Sold? I am telling you now, the report is there. He sold ambulances across the state. He wrecked the fire service. Sanobudu man, he wrecked the fire service, sold everything. I queried him. I wrote a letter, a report for him to be dismissed because he's a civil servant. For him to be dismissed. That letter, they have so many people. When you are fighting corruption, corruption will team up and intensify and fight you seriously. And that's what is happening now. So I wrote for him to be dismissed. In their corrupt nature, they went and withdrew that letter. They didn't get to the government. And so when by the time he was still in service, I ordered that his salary be stopped. So his salary, he was not earning salaries, he retired. When he retired, he tried to process his gratuity. I ordered that it should be stopped. People came to beg me, I should allow. I said, go and bring those vehicles, those trucks, those firefighting equipment. Oh, if you see, amounting to hundreds of millions of naira. He agreed that he was going to bring some of the things. He will come to my office and lie down with my staff there. Akwa, who is permanent secretary in Lizone office, is there, still in service. Charles Arako is there. There are so many. He will lie down and be begging and be running. He will carry Ghana must go of money to come and say, oh, please help me. I said, take this stinky thing out of me. So when I'm telling you, I said, look, the people who try to spoil and drag this government down were some, I'm not saying all, there are good people who are from the Northern Senatorial District. Some of the Northern Senatorial District, of those likes that I've mentioned, they try to drag this government and make it look so bad. They open my mind on transactions that occur, that things are in people's hands.
So why are you not opening your mouth?
I think you just came. I think you just came. You just came to interview me. Am I a town crier?
Okay, so let's use the opportunity to open our...
There are so many.
Okay.
There are so many.
So there'll be a part 2 and part 3 of this.
There can be a part 90. There are so many.
All right, so we are here, and of course, we have to do our own little bit in our own little corners on how to help Prince Bassey Auditor II, the current governor of Cross River State, to achieve a progressive Cross River. And one way to do that is to support the process. In security, they say security is everybody's business. If you see something, say something. And of course, regarding the rescue mission on how to rescue Cross River State, please let us team up and support the process. I want us to touch Siama Consult. I'm interested in the duplication of names. Did Cross River State government reactivate the contract of Siama Consult? Is Siama Consult exit responsible for the padding of the payroll, the duplication? Please, can you talk more about the consultancy?
Now, Siama Consult, this duplication of name led to this my audit that I worked with Barrister Icona. These are because of duplication. I did those things to find out. I told you that distortions occur between CMR, because I've queried CMR already to refund money, hundreds of millions. I've queried CMR to refund money. I think I sent you that letter.
Yes, I saw.
I queried them to refund money.
I saw the two queries.
Between CMR and Accountant General, they distort things. They do duplicate things, so that you see that the audited figures is different from the actual figure paid at the back audit.
So is Siama still in place?
No, what happened is this. Siama, after paying May salaries, they wanted a situation where their contract would be renewed. And so you know this thing is, payroll is in their cloud. Do you understand? It's stored in the cloud, in their platform.
Yes.
So it's stored there. Now, if you want to do any imputation or do anything, read only or whatever you want to do, they will give you access. When they give you access, you will open and see what is happening there. Now, CMA, as they were leaving, their contract was not renewed. They shut down their platform and left with their briefcase. So whatever these people are parading here as the last payroll is the payroll that they have manipulated.
Okay.
What government should do is to call CMA to come, pay them small money and say, bring down.
So are you saying that the government of Senator Bassey Auditor II does not have the current payroll of Cross River State?
That is my calculation.
Okay.
Because if Senator, His Excellency Senator Bassey Auditor II has the payment that was done last, and he now compares it with the payment that he's doing, he will not be shouting of increment.
Okay.
That is the simple thing.
So should we take the fact that this Siama collapsed the system, that's why there are duplications?
As Siama folded their thing and left, these people had to do with the small thing that they had here, padded it and to show that this was May payroll that Governor Yade paid last.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's manipulation.
Okay.
Look at the three officers I mentioned now. They are the three major people.
These three officers now.
Excuse me, my dear.
Yes.
The head of service says he does not control payroll. Please, look at all these ones. All these ones, all here are head of service payroll. Show them, let them see. Update.
He accepted that he does the update.
Did you not listen? He said he does
the update, but the payroll was in your hands.
No, listen to me.
Yes.
This payroll, this is update.
Yes.
In Heat FM, he said he knows nothing about payroll. You didn't listen to it.
Okay.
He said he knows nothing about payroll.
But in my own interview, he agreed that he does the update.
It's modification. Now look, the payroll is a tripartite thing, which I had explained to you.
Okay.
He does the update. He controls the payroll. Payroll, payment of money has never been domiciled in head of service. It has always been Accountant General who pays. He generates the nominal roll monthly. That is the nominal roll to say delete, include, change grade level, do this. And all those things are coming from Civil Service Commission to him. Then he sends to Accountant General and Auditor General for checking. Now my own is to check and pass. I don't impute anything into the payroll.
Okay.
It's read only, check and pass. So when those things come, we will check. No, this one cannot enter. No, this one is this. No, this grade level we have no governor's approval. This other thing we have no. We will query and pass some.
Right.
So when we query and pass on, I'll send it to a copy to CMA and a copy to Auditor, Accountant General.
So will I be correct to say that CMA did not represent us well as a state?
Every consultant that comes to Cross River State comes to steal money.
Why is it so?
Because they are a business venture. They come to make money.
So why
All the consultants that have come have been, I was left with about 2 months to clock 35 years. So I would be right to tell somebody that I've been in service for 35 years. And I haven't, throughout my service, I've never left headquarters. I've been in headquarters from that time till now. So all the consultants that came, even the one that came to local government, that time during John Olafo's time, I was in labor. They stole our money, did not pay a lot of people. People suffered, some of them died and go. All of them from PricewaterhouseCoopers during Donald Duke, they will come and confuse the system. In fact, the man fainted here and money lost.
Okay, so is that synonymous with other states in Nigeria? It's just peculiar to Cross River? Why are they targeting Cross River to steal from?
It's not only Cross River State.
Okay,
I am a labor man.
Okay.
I have gone round the state.
Okay.
So I know what happens in all the states.
All right, so
these consultants come with the intention to maximize profit. And profit includes misrepresenting things to their advantage.
All right, so in your own opinion, as a professional, as a forensic auditor, what do you think is the way forward?
The way forward is this. Number one, His Excellency Prince Basio II, as a matter of policy, because of the nefarious activities of the Oko Inaku, the Chairman Civil Service Commission, which is proven by a lot of infractions issuing, it shows he doesn't even know what civil service is all about. Because I see him shouting, what is my business with payroll? What is my business with payroll? He talks like somebody who hasn't gone to school. What's my business? You don't know that all your activities is what orchestrates the increase in payroll. The governor, as a matter of urgency, should cancel all those employments found by him. Number two, he should cancel by issuing a letter, a policy letter, canceling all those employment, so that in future you cannot bring those names to put into payroll because that letter is there. Number two, I have always said this, permanent secretaries should be brought together. Whether you want to take about maybe 10 of them, they are there, maybe not doing anything, some doing consultancy jobs, some into farming and all that. If you call them, they will come. Permanent secretaries who retired before 2015,
Sure.
should be brought in.
Okay.
Let them review the promotion progression of all the civil servants. When a committee is constituted by those old permanent secretaries, it's a graduate, it's not something you give them 2 months, 1 month and all that. They enter, use this payroll, call Ministry of Health, they review their promotion progression and bring out a report. That report will go to the governor. When the report goes to the governor will now approve the action to be taken to Civil Service Commission. Civil Service Commission will now reverse all those things and place those people appropriately. That one will bring the payroll down in terms of that. The cancellation of all those appointments that were issued by Oko Inaku, all of them, that policy, if they are in payroll, they should be withdrawn. There are several of them several of those people are employed. They are already working in justice. There's a level 12 lady who is the relation. It's injustice. There are other people who are there. They surreptitiously put into the payroll and the distance. So that review will bring the payroll down. Because, like I said earlier, there is nothing as much that takes a chunk of our money from government than payroll. A situation where you will be paying payroll and non-personnel items that will amount to about 3.5 or 4 billion naira every month. You ask yourself, what is the the federal allocation to Cross River State? What is the internal generated revenue? So all you need to do, by all means, struggle to crash your payroll down, because that's the one that takes the junk of the matter. And when they do that, please, these things occur because actions are not taken to serve a deterrent. When they do that, everybody that is involved should be prosecuted.
Okay.
Everybody, whether you have benefited a penny, should be prosecuted, and the wrath of the law should visit that person, so that you go to prison. I went to Singapore to do masters. I went there. There are small thing you do, you have gone to jail. Small thing you do, they will execute you. Any little thing you do, so there is sanity there.
So everybody will become an ex-convict.
So that the society will be clean. Because what is happening here now, corruption is fighting back.
Will that amount to some sort of witch hunt?
No, it will not. It's sanitizing the system. Okay. You know, you people will bring these political gimmicks to say, oh, is this person's tenure? Is that? Ayade knew nothing about what was happening.
Oh, really?
I am telling you that His Excellency Ben Ayade knew nothing about what was happening. Will he be in everywhere? In civil service, will he be there? In head of service, will he be there? The system will organize, orchestrate something and achieve it. He will not be there. And that was why he had always said unexplainable increase in payroll. And if you look at the payroll, you will see the issues that led to the increase of payroll, one after the other. If I could just trace it, you know, they are in my file. No, look at it here. So I have a file for everything and a photocopy. Now look at His Excellency approval that increased the payroll from August 2019 to August 2022. Implementation of new salary regime for civil servants, minimum wage, 100 million naira. Implementation of promotion of 5 million naira monthly, September 2021 to August 2022, amounted to 60 million. Implementation of new salary structures of staff of College of Health Technology, 20 million 690,000 and thereabout. Implementation of 120% judges allowance, 6.0. So these are things amounting to 248 million 690,000 36 naira 58 kobo.
Can we take a shot of this?
Please take a shot. Take it. Don't close it. Let people see it well. You are short when you take. I don't see it. When you are showing their this thing, I will check to try to strain my eye. Let them snap it well and see.
I'll stop it. Are you people seeing properly?
Yes.
All right, so Auditor General, we are still on recommendation. You talked about how the governor can get it right, but how can he take care of the issues of duplication that emanated as a result of the collapse of the Siama Consult payroll? How can that, I'm asking you this because you're a forensic auditor. How can that be treated?
Now, like I said, that duplication is what I have treated it.
Okay. But they still have it now.
No, this report was not out. I was handling that thing before they kicked me out.
Okay. But as of last month, there was a list that was printed and publicized. And I actually read it on television live on the Good Morning Cross River show on CRBC. We still had duplicated names in their numbers.
What I'm trying to tell you,
yes,
you seem not to understand me. I said I was in the process of handling this matter.
Okay.
And how to handle this matter is this, which I have this documents here printed from the bank.
Okay.
And you have seen the suit number there. Okay. I use my own money on myself to achieve this, to struggle to get this.
Okay.
Now, when you get those duplicated names, number one, circulate it widely for people to come and verify if those names belong to them. Because duplicated names could arise from two people bearing the same name, but they cannot have the same one BVN. It's BVN that we use to do this work. Now, those two people, when one person comes, you will discover that one person will come and bear that name. And in some cases, the two people who have those names will appear. Now, when they finish all that, they should go to the bank, get an order from the court, mandating the court to print out the mandate of that account. The mandate comprises of the person's photograph, the person's address, the person's phone number, and all his details. When they print the mandate of that account and the statement of that account, it will now show you that Mr. A is the owner of this account. He lives at so place. His phone number is so this and all that. The total amount he has eaten, when they is reconciled, you will see that this one has eaten up to 20 million or 50 million or 10 million, as the case may be. You write it. All this is to enable you get that person arrested. You will get that person arrested. The person will come out. When you arrest him, you are arresting him, number one, to delete him from payroll. The payroll will reduce. Okay. Number two, to recover the money. Number three, to mention his collaborators.
Okay.
Number four, to get him in prison so that people will not do that again.
All right.
That is it.
So it should serve as a deterrent to others.
Yes.
All right, that's interesting. It's been thought-provoking, mind-blowing revelations. I've learned a whole lot. All right, I've learned a whole lot. I'm not an accountant student, but I've heard a lot of things that have given me clarity, and I'm sure the people of Cross River State will get to understand where we are headed and how we can do things differently to achieve a better Cross River. Before we go, what would be your message to the people of Cross River State? Because we are in the people's government. What is your advice to the people out there?
As a politician or as a public servant, as what? As a pensioner?
First of all, as a Cross Riverian. Secondly, you insisted categorically that you made up your mind to speak out because you want the right thing to be done for Cross River. But generally, whatever comes from your mind to the people, what do you have to say, first of all, in this dispensation, because you want Cross River State to get it right, you want the governor to get it right, what is your message to the people in this people's first dispensation? My
message to the governor of Cross River State, His Excellency Prince Bassey Eddo II, is that he should stamp his feet and take decisions that will affect whoever is involved if the person is culpable, so that a repeat of it will not come back. Okay. So that whoever is involved, the person, they should remove politics away from it, handle it squarely, so that I've seen the few things that he's doing. The man is in the right direction. Okay. He's following it and he's getting it right, you know. Now, if he does that, it will help him to have enough money to develop Cross River State, which will at the end benefit the generality of the public, or the population of Cross River State. For the public, all they need is the cooperation to give His Excellency Prince Bassey Eddo II the cooperation to achieve his mandate. Okay. And they should do that by offering whatever assistance in terms of information to the government. Reach the government in whatever way, representative or representative or whoever, if you can't reach him directly, and ensure that that message is passed to him. We should all strive. Look, an auditor is a whistleblower, because by the time you audit something and you express your opinion in writing and forward it to the next person, to any user, you have blown a whistle. Of course. So an auditor is an investigator, is an undercover person, is a whistleblower, is everything you can think of that is there to unravel fraud. Yes, an auditor does that. Okay. So I am not, in this case, a whistleblower. And I am merely informing the government what I saw and what transpired in government. And what led to where we are today? What led to the bloating of the payroll. So the government should stamp its feet. It's not enough. I have I have really condemned the use of consultants, because the consultants will always come to make their money. Take, for instance, if a consultant discovers something that involves me as a politician, I can use other political powers to pass through some, or I can even bring money to say, please don't mention my name, don't mention, please take this. He has nothing to lose. He lets you go and covers it, because he is the final person to bring that thing, bring up that thing. Let them use retired permanent secretaries. Use those people, at least those people who retired in 2015, downwards. Bring them. They are intelligent people. They are people who have passed through the ropes. They are bosses to these people who are serving here now. So you cannot come and tell me and say this, that, and that. I will say, will you get out? And not everyone. They should take the ones with proven integrity.
All right, so I've seen a lot of this investigation. Can you donate it to Cross River State government, or you still want them to go and pass through the process you have already passed through?
No, the thing is that
can you hand it over for continuity? If
Cross River State government wants me to give this document you are seeing, is also in Auditor General's office.
Okay.
All these documents you are seeing here, okay. I told you, I said it in my interview.
System.
I told you in my interview that whatever document you see here, you will see it in my village, you will see it in my farmhouse. If you come here to take this one, you think you have taken documents. There are documents, the same set of documents here. Because I knew that something like this will come out. And I knew that when these allegations come out, what will vindicate you will be documents. And let me tell you, documents could be shown to you at the face value. But the authenticity of that document will be the verification. Do you understand?
Sure.
You see, any document you see here, I can go to printing place and print it and sign signature and come and show you. But you know that document was sent to an office. And when you go to that office, it was received in their inward register. And it would have been apportioned to whoever would treat it. So you will see those documents in those offices. So the verification of that document will authenticate the document that was presented to you. So those documents are everywhere. This illegal promotion and this illegal acting appointment, promotion and all that, removing people from one grade to another, employment and all that, they are all in those offices that I mentioned earlier.
All right, that's interesting. Thank you very much. It's been a privilege having this thought-provoking interaction with the former Auditor General of Cross River State. My name, remember, is Akpala. We do this because we want to get to the truth, not because of we want to wish hunt anybody. This is not about, carrying out some sort of vendetta. It's about speaking truth to power and helping government to get it right. We need this as a state, and we need this as a people if we want the current government to do well. All right, so this is people's government, and the people's government, the people also have a responsibility. So the former Auditor General has said, we need to help the governor to get it right. He cannot do it alone. My name, remember, is Akpala, and the program remains Inside Cross River. We'll come your way again with another thought-provoking edition as we keep helping the governor to achieve a progressive Cross River state. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.